Hello friends! Welcome back to my studio where we make pretty costumes and things. A year ago, I decided to go through all of the fabric that I have purchased over the years and make decisions on if I'm actually going to use the fabric or if I could part with it. I did a combination of donating fabric and sending fabric to friends, and then just also the fabric that I decided to keep, I made sure that I was keeping it for valid reasons like mock-ups or this could be used on something someday. And I really enjoyed sharing my journey of going through all of those things and making decisions with all of you. It was fun to see what fabric you really liked and to see how I organize and set things up so that I can be successful in my sewing space. Since that video, I have noticed there's a few more problem areas in my studio, my closet being the biggest. My closet was a problem area last year and it somehow became a problem area again this year, but in completely different ways. I also kind of sort of have had a closet like right here that has always been a problem area and I've just kind of not known what to do with it for so long. It's time to tackle it. I also have several little like boxes and the little cubbies and drawers and places that are holding things, are doing a great job at holding things, but it's not really convenient or easy or creates a good flow for me in my space. I thought it would be really fun to kind of take you all on this journey with me to kind of reorganize. I am going to be moving things up to the attic. We're gonna go through some of my costumes that are downstairs and put them upstairs in the attic. I have several sewing machines that I'm going to be finally putting up in the attic. Putting those machines upstairs will actually clear out a closet down the hall as well as some space in this closet. We're gonna do a lot of organizing. I also have this brand new table from Arrow. Some of you have seen the video of me taking apart my old table and then building this new one. This has kind of helped me create more organizational spaces and spaces that can serve me better than what I've already got. So that's what this video is. That was a really long way of saying we're gonna reorganize quite a bit of things I have. And how many times have I said organize or organizational in this video? I feel like it would be a fun little thing to have a counter rolling because I feel like I'm gonna be saying that word or those words a lot. So the first thing that we need to do to start all of this is decide what costumes are gonna go up in the attic, what costumes are gonna get donated, and what costumes we are going to shred and burn and sacrifice for the cosplay gods. All right, let's start with this closet right here. Starting with the costumes closest to the door, I just kind of like took them out and made sure they were ones I still wanted to keep and wear. I did have to take the stuffing out of my holiday gown and put it back into Ariel sleeves. From there, I also moved a couple costumes that I wanted to go kind of closer in the back. But most of these costumes closer to the front, I still wear. Then I had to take out all of the safety pins that were in this petticoat. We safety pinned it up at the convention so that I could have a petticoat between my dress and hoop, but this one is normally too long and we safety pinned it up. From there, I basically fluffed this out. I ended up later washing it because I ended up washing a bunch of my petticoats, but that's a tale for another day. And I just kind of worked my way back until I got to a stopping point where I realized there's a bunch of costumes back there that I just don't wear. Then I took the costumes that I put on the floor and put them in the back because I either don't wear them often or I haven't finished them yet. So now let's go down the hall and see what's over there. So this closet is where we store most of Toby's costumes and some of my costumes that I don't wear nearly as often. A lot of the costumes in this closet are either getting donated or going up in the attic. None of Toby's costumes are going anywhere. I don't make decisions about his costumes. He either decides they don't fit or he doesn't want to wear them anymore, and that's that. But I do try to organize this as much as I can because like I still want his costumes to be easy for him to get to, as well as like my costumes to be easy for me to get to. In this tote, I have miscellaneous gloves, boot covers, tights, socks, and also my superhero costumes and my Lady Gaga costumes. 2 of my Lady Gaga costumes are being donated, as well as most of my superhero costumes, And then the costumes that I am keeping from this tote are all going up in the attic because, let's be honest, I don't really wear them and there's no point in having them take up space downstairs. If I need them, they're up there. Off camera, I've already gone up into the attic and put all of the costumes that I deemed attic time up there. I also have set aside the stuff that I'm going to donate as well. So we're making some progress. The closet isn't as far as I would like it to be today, but you know what? We've got time. So now I have these 2 totes. These are just all undergarments and they're kind of all just like squished and thrown in here. And I don't really know if I need all of them or if I'm going to use all of them. So I'm going to take some time to organize these, fold whatever is in here, keep what I'm going to keep, and move along whatever I'm not. The one thing is this corset doesn't fit. It will always live right on top. It's just too long. I also went through my floral box and made a little bit more room for the flowers that I used for the corpse bride, and I put my hats up in the attic as well. There's 3 hats that I saved that are down here. For the most part, all of my hats are also up in the attic, so there's a little bit more room. And finally, for my sewing machines, I am donating my Singer Heavy Duty. I'm doing that because it has made hundreds of costumes. It's got 5 or 6 years on it. Even though it's an absolutely amazing machine and I love it, I already have a main machine and a backup machine, and I was gonna put it up in the attic, and Toby was like, do you think that this would make a better home being donated? So that's getting donated. I also have a serger or overlock machine I'm going to be selling, as well as an embroidery machine that I'm gonna be selling. So I have a Viking Husqvarna Topaz 50 that is used, has never been serviced, and I'm gonna sell that, and I'm also gonna sell a Brother 1034D. I haven't like put it up anywhere or figured anything out. Let's go through these. We'll go from there. So I have all my patterns out on my table, and I was gonna go through them and organize them and try to get whatever I can into envelopes and all that jazz. But I realized I wanna move all of the wig stuff into the cabinets here. I have to clear out these cabinets to be able to get the wig stuff in there. So we're gonna switch gears, and I'm going to kind of start going through the bottom half of these cabinets behind you. Basically, I have a lot of like paint, hot glue, Dremel, like non-sewing stuff, but like crafting stuff that I would like to take out of that space and put down the hall where I have my Dremel and my heat gun and all that jazz. That way, basically like all the crafting stuff is in one space, and then this studio will only have sewing stuff. I think it's just easier for me. I also have a rack that has a bunch of embroidery stuff on it, and I need to organize that rack and put my embroidery thread on that rack because I have it organized this in cases, and that way that'll clear out a huge part of this cabinet where I can actually store wig stuff. Basically, my wig stuff is here and then in a bunch of drawers over there. And I personally would like to not have it all like around my studio. I'd like to have it in one space that I can basically be like, okay, this is wig stuff space. That was a really long explanation, but let's get right into going through the cabinets over here. Just the bottom half. We'll worry about the top half tomorrow or later, but the bottom. I started by just taking out all of these little plastic totes and putting everything in piles with like things. So all of the embroidery thread in one place, all of the Cricut stuff in one place, all of the paints and the things that might go down the hall in one place, and then miscellaneous items in another pile. And then from there, I was able to make some decisions about my embroidery thread. I have some embroidery thread that I'm gonna keep and some that I'm gonna donate. And the stuff I'm keeping are going on my embroidery cart. I know it's a little hard to see in there, but it's basically all thread now. And then I have my stabilizer in the corner. Since I have more shelf space where I'm storing my wigs now, I actually can box up a few more of these wigs that have been laying in bags. So like my Corpse Bride wig, my Amity wig, my Naja wig. I also have some wigs from costumes that I no longer have, so they're gonna be unlabeled, and then I can use them in the future for other costumes. I did decide to take apart my Constance Hatchaway wig, which is this blue wig that you'll see me taking apart here soon, because I don't have that costume anymore. And so I'm putting it in one of these boxes and storing it, and hopefully I can revitalize it for a costume in the future. This is where I've been storing all of my wig styling supplies. And while this is a great place to store it, it's so far from my wigs that I think it will serve me better to have them all in one location, and a little bit more organized than I had here, as you can see. Also, 1 million wig caps. Day 1, done. I'll be honest, everything looks worse than it did before. That always happens. That happened last time. That happens every single time that I do anything with like cleaning or reorganizing. It's part of the process. I did hit like another mini snafu, which is I have all of this wig stuff out of the drawer and I don't really have anything to organize it into. So I am gonna start tomorrow with actually going through the pattern and getting all of those put back into the closet. And then I'm actually gonna organize lace and get them out of these fancy boxes I have behind me into some drawers. And then I can use some of those boxes to organize some of my wig stuff and get that into the closet. And then we'll just keep going to town on that closet, and I'm almost done with this closet in here, but I have a feeling that we will be very successful in finishing this task tomorrow. I guess like the areas, the little small areas I want to do too are my desk. I have a lot of stuff that I'd like to move over to the drawers over there. I'd like to go through those drawers, and those drawers. I know you can't see them, but I like to go through all of them and just kind of get rid of whatever I don't need or whatever isn't serving me, and then organize and get things into places that I can find them. So we're getting there. Tomorrow's gonna be a really good day and we're gonna finish this and it's gonna be so awesome. I will see you all then. Good morning. I'm back and I am ready to tackle this pattern monstrosity. I also have to tackle my organizing some swatches. That's what this book is for. So I moved all of the hair stuff onto the ground in a pile because I think once I've tackled the binder and all of the pattern stuff, this closet will basically be called done. And then I can move on to reorganizing all of this stuff back here and some of the drawers and things. So I guess the first thing I'm gonna do is try to find all of these manila envelopes, make sure they're labeled. If they're not labeled, label them. Then I'm also going to make sure that I have all of these packets. These are just patterns that are in plastic Ziplocs. Make sure that like I have them all. Maybe I'll organize them. I don't know. We're gonna just make sure that these and these are on the same shelf. We're gonna do that. That's what we're doing. All right, so here is all of my wig stuff. I've got all of it, obviously all of my wigs, and then I have some wig styling stuff. In the bottom box right there is all of the hair wefts and tools for ventilating wigs. Above that is a small box with brushes, and then above that are two boxes, one small like Tupperware thing with clips, and then behind that is sponge rollers and things like that, and then obviously my sprays. I'm out of some other stuff, so I probably need to get more wig styling stuff before I start Glinda, but I think this is at a good place. Now I think I need to go through some miscellaneous tubs. So I have this. I have inside that box and that box, everything on the table. There are several cubbies in here that also have random stuff. And then I have that right there. All of that needs to kind of start like, I need to go through those things and start separating what things are like each other and start making decisions. So that's, I think, the next step. Or, you know what, let's have an easy win. All of this is Cricut stuff. So I think I'm going to get my Cricut out, get any other Cricut stuff that might be in the top half and move it down to this bottom shelf here and put all my Cricut stuff in the same place down there. And then whatever other things that I need to put with Cricut stuff or whatever I think of will go there too. But for right now, let's just get Cricut stuff there. Then I can kind of start organizing from there. All right, friends, the last two places that I need to clean slash like tidy up are inside my desk drawers, which are my electronics and a lot of the stuff that I use to run my business. And then I have a set of drawers on the side. You saw earlier in the video, I took all of my wig styling stuff out of them. There's still 3 drawers in that I need to completely take out and figure out if I need to keep anything in there. And then I'm gonna reorganize that to hold some of my desk stuff, and then some of the tech stuff that I like don't need every day will go into the closet in one of these nice boxes, just like nicely organized and stuff. So we're gonna get going on that. That will be the last little bit, and then I can take you a little bit around the studio and we can talk about all of the changes I made and the costumes I'm gonna make for next year. Let's go. So I'm new to using a lav mic, and I lost the sound on the final clip, or like the outro of this video. So we're gonna have a lovely voiceover while I say thank you all so much for watching this video. And now I'd like to share what I'm gonna be making in 2023. So obviously, I'm gonna finish Glinda. This is it. This is the year for finishing Glinda. You've seen her on my mannequin this whole video. That last drawer was her tambour embroidery. Let's go. The next thing that I'll be doing is my Morticia Addams remake, which you'll be finding for Halloween in February. Please, everyone join me. For Halloween, I'm going to make Mina's red dress from Dracula. We're gonna do 1880s underpinnings. It's going to be fabulous. The next 2 costumes are a wish list type costume. I think it'd be really fun to make this Meg design from Pem Cosplay Art. I got this material for $3 a yard, and I think it would be great for it. And finally, I think it'd be fun to make a Steed Bonnet costume from Our Flag Means Death. I don't know when or if I'm going to use it, but again, this was $3 a yard too, so I just couldn't resist. Finally, I would love to make myself a few outfits with some of this fabric I have, but we'll see if I do any of that. And that is all for this studio clean with me video. Until next week when we talk about my Glinda bubble dress cosplay, have a wonderful week, happy holidays, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.